Have you ever sat down to work, opened your laptop, picked up your book, and then suddenly found yourself scrolling on your phone for an hour? You tell yourself, just 5 more minutes. But those 5 minutes quietly become another wasted day. Most people think they fail because they aren't smart enough or talented enough. The truth is much simpler, and much more dangerous. They lose because they can't protect their focus. This is the story of a young man who discovered that the biggest thief in life doesn't wear a mask. It lives inside the distractions we choose every single day. Kai was an ordinary young man with extraordinary dreams. He wanted to build a successful career, stay healthy, make his family proud, and create a life he could look back on with satisfaction. Every new morning felt like a fresh opportunity, and every page of his notebook reminded him that his future was still waiting to be written. He had no shortage of ambition. His goals were clear, his plans were written down, and deep inside, he truly believed he could achieve every one of them. The only thing standing between him and his dreams was how he spent each day. Every morning, Kai made the same promise to himself. Today will be different. Today I'll stay focused. Today I'll finally make real progress. For a few moments, it genuinely felt like this would be the day everything changed. But then came a familiar sound, a single notification. It didn't seem important. It looked harmless. Kai smiled and thought, I'll check this quickly and then get right back to work. He had no idea that this tiny decision would steal the next hour of his life. One video became another. One message led to another conversation. A few minutes turned into 30, then 60. Before Kai even noticed, the energy he had for his dreams had been spent on things he wouldn't even remember tomorrow. Distraction never announces itself as danger. It arrives disguised as entertainment. When Kai finally looked up, the afternoon was almost gone. His work was still unfinished, his notebook was still closed, and the excitement he had felt that morning had quietly faded. The saddest part wasn't that he had rested, it was that he had traded his biggest dreams for moments that gave him nothing in return. That evening, Kai felt exhausted, but not because he had worked hard. He was mentally drained from constantly switching his attention from one thing to another. He had spent the whole day busy, yet accomplished almost nothing. It was a strange kind of tiredness, the kind that comes from avoiding what truly matters. Tomorrow became next week. Next week became next month. Every night, Kai promised himself he would start fresh in the morning. But every morning, the same distractions returned. Without realizing it, he wasn't just losing hours. He was losing pieces of the future he had once imagined so clearly. He watched others achieve their goals and wondered, why does everyone else seem to move forward while I stay in the same place? He blamed luck, talent, and timing. But deep inside, he knew the answer. It wasn't that successful people had more time, they simply protected the time they already had. One peaceful evening, while sitting alone in the park, Kai met an old carpenter named Master Ren. The old man had spent decades building beautiful things with his hands, but what made him truly wise wasn't the wood he shaped. It was the lives he quietly changed. Looking at Kai's tired face, he smiled and asked a question that would transform everything. Master Ren looked at Kai for a moment before speaking. Tell me, he asked gently, are you tired because you've been working too hard, or because you've been running away from the work that truly matters? Kai didn't answer. He simply lowered his eyes. Deep down, he already knew the truth. Kai finally spoke. I have goals. I have plans. I know exactly what I should be doing. But every single day, I get distracted. By the time I realize it, the day is over. I feel like I'm watching my own dreams slowly slip away, and I don't know how to stop it. Instead of giving advice, Master Ren reached into his worn leather bag and pulled out an old magnifying glass. It looked ordinary, scratched by time and years of use. Kai stared at it, confused, wondering what a simple tool could possibly teach him about success. Master Ren placed a dry leaf under the sunlight. Nothing happened. He looked at Kai and said, the sun is powerful, but its light is scattered. Then he held a magnifying glass above the leaf. The sunlight gathered into one tiny point. Within seconds, smoke appeared. The sunlight didn't become stronger, Master Ren said. It simply became focused. Your mind works the same way, Master Ren said. When your attention is scattered, your results are weak. But when you focus on one thing, ordinary effort becomes extraordinary. One person spends all day switching between tasks. Another gives just a few hours of complete focus. By the end of the year, the focused person is miles ahead. Success isn't about having more time. It's about using your attention wisely. Kai finally understood. His phone wasn't stealing his future, his choices were. That night, He promised himself to protect his attention instead of giving it away. The next morning, Kai cleared his desk, silenced his phone, and set a timer. His goal wasn't perfection. It was simple: focus on one important task without interruption. The urge to check his phone was strong. But every time he ignored it, his focus became stronger. He realized that focus is like a muscle. It grows every time you train it. One focused day became a week. A week became a habit. Soon, Kai stopped waiting for motivation. His routine carried him forward. Some friends didn't understand. But Kai knew that every no to distraction was a yes to his dreams. Day after day, the small changes added up. He grew healthier, wiser, and more confident. Not overnight, but through consistency. Soon, the results became visible. His business grew, opportunities appeared, and people called him lucky. They never saw the quiet hours of focused work behind his success. The boy asked, "What's your secret?" Kai smiled and replied, "Protect your attention. Your future grows where your focus goes." Kai noticed that most people weren't short on talent. They were simply distracted. In today's world, focus has become a rare superpower. Before leaving, Master Ren shared one final lesson. Guard your attention carefully. Once time is gone, it never comes back. Every day, life gives you a choice. Chase distractions or build your future. Small choices. Kai smiled, not because every dream had come true, but because he had remember, distraction steals your future one moment at a time. But every focused hour brings you closer to the life you want. Protect your attention. It is your greatest asset. If this story inspired you, like, share, subscribe, and tell us in the comments, what's one distraction you'll leave behind today?